Hi, thanks for joining me today. We're going to be looking at actually one of my most favourite stoves, and it's the Hampton Vista 500. One of my favourite stoves because of how efficient it is and the way it looks. I love the look of the stove, great freestanding, lots of view of the fire. So we're firstly going to look at output and the certifications that the stove has. So this is a 5 kilowatt nominal stove, which is great for ventilation reasons, but it does go all the way up to sort of 7 and as low as to around 3. So really is suitable for loads of different installs and good in that regard. As for approvals, over 80% efficient, low particulate output, Defra approved, eco design ready. So we've got all of those accreditations. As well as that, it also has the rear heat shield option, which is really important for freestanding setups if you're going against the combustible material. With that heat shield fitted, reduces the distances down to just 100 millimeters at the rear. And we're also working on a side heat shield option as well, which is soon to be tested, which will hopefully reduce the distances down at the side as well if it's going into a corner installation with a combustible wall. As well as that, it's also approved to sit on a 12 millimeter hearth because it doesn't exceed 100 C at the base. So now we're going to move on to controls, or in this case, control, because it's a wood only stove, doesn't have any primary airflow, only has the secondary and tertiary air which produces the air through the holes here and then also goes over the glass at the front here. The reason it does that is because there's actually an internal shell here where the air is flowing through and onto the glass, which is a really good way of keeping this big piece of glass nice and clean. So I'm just going to lean over the stove because the control's on the right and then just close it right down. Very warm. As you can see, fully closed now and it's died right off, and the stove's just trickling the last bits of flames through here. And then you want to gradually control it, get it at a good level where it burns nicely and for a long time. Now this, to be honest, is probably going to be too low. You want to have it just a little bit more open. So somewhere around about there, maybe a little bit less. You just generally fiddle around with it and get the best control for you at the time of the burn. Now when you do first light the stove, you want to have the control fully open and the door just ajar, because that hasn't got the primary air, you don't have the little slider underneath. Door ajar for the first 3 minutes roughly, close the door, get an established burn, and it controls beautifully with the control on the right hand side. I hope these few little features that we've done on this stove have been helpful, but as always, if you have any questions, let us know. Thank you.